Look down at your hand right now. Flex your fingers. Feel the knuckles move. That hand has a history so deep and so violent that if you knew every chapter of it, you would never look at yourself the same way again. Your skeleton is not just a frame. It is a record, a compressed archive of every crisis, every near extinction, every impossible survival that had to happen in exactly the right order so that you could exist right now. And here's the part no one tells you. Your bones did not start with you. They started with something that almost did not make it. Paleoanthropologist Shea spent decades studying the fossil record of early Homo sapiens. What he found is not a clean line of progress. It is a series of near collapses, populations that shrank to almost nothing, bottlenecks so severe that the entire human lineage came within a few thousand individuals of disappearing forever. Every ancestor in your line, without a single exception, lived long enough to reproduce, going back 4 million years. Through ice ages, through volcanic winters, through famines that lasted longer than any civilization alive today. Not one of them failed. Richard Dawkins put it simply, you are the latest in an unbroken chain of winners. Not the strongest, not the most virtuous, just the ones who survived long enough to pass it on. Around 70,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano erupted. The volcanic winter lasted a decade. Geneticist Stanley Ambrose's analysis of mitochondrial DNA suggests the entire human population may have collapsed to as few as 10,000 individuals worldwide. 10,000 people on the entire planet. Your species nearly ended, and the fingerprint of that collapse is still inside your DNA. The immune responses in your bone marrow, the metabolic efficiency in your femur, the respiratory architecture in your nasal passages. These are not history lessons. These are physical structures inside your body right now. The record goes further back. 4 million years ago, your ancestors stood upright for the first time. It was one of the most costly experiments in evolutionary history. It narrowed the birth canal. It loaded the knees and ankles differently. It moved the center of gravity in ways the body was never originally built for. Your lower back pain, if you have it, is ancient. It is the price of standing upright in a body designed for something else. Leslie Aiello's research into what she called the obstetric dilemma makes this specific. The human pelvis had to be narrow enough to walk efficiently and wide enough to deliver a brain 3 times larger than it was 2 million years ago. The compromise your skeleton landed on is why human birth is the most dangerous of any primate, and why human babies are born so helpless compared to every other mammal of comparable size. Your skeleton is a negotiation between what your ancestors needed yesterday and what they needed tomorrow. There is one moment in the fossil record that stops researchers cold. 1.8 million years ago, a Homo erectus female known as KNM-ER1808 was found in northern Kenya. Her bones showed toxic levels of vitamin A. Her long bones had fractured. Walking would have been impossible, and yet she lived. Weeks, possibly months. The healing in the bone is unmistakable. Someone took care of her. Before language, before fire was reliably controlled, before anything we call civilization, a group of early humans chose to keep a suffering individual alive when leaving her would have been easier. Your urge to help someone in pain is not a cultural invention. It is older than culture. It is written in bone that is 1.8 million years old. But here is where it gets personal. Your specific skeleton is not just a species template. It is a record of your own family line's survival. The density of your bones reflects the demands your ancestors placed on their bodies. The shape of your jaw reflects centuries of dietary shift. The size of your wisdom teeth reflects a diet your great-great-grandparents were already moving away from. Forensic anthropologists can read a skeleton like a biography. Age, ancestry, old injuries, childhood illness, episodes of starvation leave horizontal lines inside long bones called Harris lines. Each one is a chapter of hardship the body paused its growth to survive. Your bones have been keeping notes this whole time. Anthropologist Tim White described the skeleton as a palimpsest, a document written over and over, each generation adding its layer on top of the last, none of them fully erasing what came before. You are carrying 4 million years of that document inside you, and it is not neutral. The arch of your foot helped an ancestor run from something that no longer exists. Your opposable thumb helped an ancestor grip a tool that may have been their only weapon. The sinus cavities that give you headaches helped an ancestor survive an altitude or climate that is gone. You are built for a world that no longer exists. Your chronic back pain, your anxiety in crowds, your craving for fat and sugar when food is everywhere, your startle reflex at a shadow in your peripheral vision, all of it is ancient machinery running in a modern setting. And it works against every reasonable probability. You are here, which means every version of this machine before you worked well enough, long enough to keep the chain unbroken. When you wake up tomorrow and your back is stiff, that is bipedalism's price. When your jaw aches where a wisdom tooth has no room, that is 100,000 years of diet written in bone. When you flinch at a shadow, that is a nervous system calibrated to a threat that vanished 10,000 years ago. You do not just have a body. You have a record, 4 million years deep, written in calcium and collagen and the compressed memory of every impossible survival that had to happen before you. Look down at your hand again. It is not just yours.